So, you want to know why Arthur Schopenhauer, the ultimate sourpuss of philosophy, had a serious vendetta against women? What made this guy wake up every morning ready to shit on half the human race? Hey, rockers! Sit down, grab a beer and listen, because we're about to dive into a twisted psyche. This ain't just some I hate women rant. There's a lot more to this mess. Are you ready to rock? Let's rock that wisdom.
Women are suited to being the nurses and teachers of our earliest childhood, precisely because they themselves are childish, frivolous, and short-sighted.
Yeah, I know. It sounds harsh. But let's be real. Schopenhauer was stuck in the 1800s. Women back then couldn't vote, couldn't work, couldn't even show a damn ankle without causing a scandal. All Arthur ever saw were women stuck at home, labelled childish because that's all society let them be. So of course the guy thought he was onto something. But he wasn't just ranting about their childishness. The guy had thoughts on women's intelligence too. And spoiler, they're not pretty.
Women are by nature meant to obey.
Yeah, that's an actual quote. But before you lose your shit over it, think about this. Schopenhauer grew up in a world where men got the education, the books, the opportunities, and women got, well, needlepoint. He genuinely thought that women
Lack the artistic or intellectual faculty for producing original work.
But well, when you've never seen a woman even allowed to try, it's easy to assume they've got nothing going on upstairs. Is it sexist? Hell yeah. Is it understandable given his bubble? Also, yeah. But Arthur's not done. He's got some hot takes on love and marriage coming up. And trust me, you've never heard anything like this before.
Marrying means to grasp blindfolded into a sack, hoping to find an eel among an assembly of snakes.
Schopenhauer saw love as nature's dirtiest trick. He believed women used beauty to bait men, then trapped them into a life of endless nagging and money problems. The man was straight up terrified of commitment. But can you blame him? Marriage back then was basically a prison. No divorce, no second thoughts, couples therapy and all that bullshit. No, it was just endless obligations. But oh, we're not done. Wait till you hear what he said about women's looks. This is where Schopenhauer goes full savage. Grab another beer.
Women are like flowers. They are attractive only when they bloom, and their charm is short-lived. Once the bloom of youth fades, they wither and become unappealing.
Brutal. But think about it. This was a guy obsessed with permanence. He thought women as part of their inferior nature embodied the transient, the temporary, everything that fades. And that freaked him the hell out. He wasn't just talking about women. He was probably scared shitless of his own mortality, his own inevitable decay. And what's easier than projecting all that existential dread onto the people around you? But we're not even close to done yet. We still haven't reached Schopenhauer's magnum opus of misogyny.
Women are an intermediate stage between the child and the man, who is the actual human being.
Yep, he basically called women half evolved. But listen up, he wasn't trying to be edgy for the sake of it. Schopenhauer thought men were closer to the ideal because they were detached, rational, and unburdened by emotions. He surely couldn't handle the fact that women lived in the real world with all its messy, emotional bullshit. Arthur wanted life to be neat, controlled. And since women didn't fit that, he labelled them as inferior. It's not about them, it was about him being terrified of what he couldn't control. What do you think? But what if I told you that this whole women are inferior shit was just Arthur's way of avoiding a way bigger truth? It's the one thing Arthur feared more than anything else. And spoiler, it's staring back at him every time he looked in the mirror. Here's the truth. Arthur Schopenhauer was just a dude with some serious mommy issues and a whole lot of loneliness. He never married, never had kids, and spent his days with his fluffy poodle, Atma. All this talk about women being useless, it wasn't about them. It was about Arthur being scared of life's messiness, scared of actually connecting with people. Hating woman was his way of hating what he couldn't understand. And instead of facing his fears, he just shit on everyone else. So, what the hell do we take from all this? Simple. Don't let your fear of the unknown turn you into a bitter self. You see something that doesn't make sense, that scares you. Try to get it, understand it, try to connect, and stop talking to your poodle. And most importantly, challenge your own fucking beliefs.